Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest celebrity news, reality TV, Jeff Lewis live, OMG, the engagement heard around the world this weekend. Oh my gosh, I hope you're having a great day. It just started thundering yet again, which made me have to run to the bathroom because I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I can be on this podcast and not go to the bathroom because this dang rain is going to make me have to pee. So shout out to all my Houston area chumpettes and all the rain we keep having, like sunny and then thunderstorms. So anyways, let's get into it all. First of all, if you are new, if you are on TikTok, YouTube channel at Sarah from Texas Podcast, or listen anywhere you get your podcasts on audio at Sarah from Texas Podcast. So I definitely want to hear your thoughts though. So many of y'all were messaging me about this and posting in the Sarah from Texas Facebook group. Oh my gosh, we will get to the Gage and Scott of it all very soon. But real quick, shout out to Tiffany Chump. Y'all were asking me about her. I did reach out because somebody said today, y'all were noticing that she wasn't commenting. She's really busy at work. She just had a daughter graduate high school. So that is super exciting, but also super busy. So she is alive and well. Everything is going well. She said to tell everyone hi. So just telling y'all hi from Chump, that Tiffany Chump. Anyways, also Justin Bieber, I do not know what's been going on with him. Clearly there's something going on. He posted this really long Instagram. You know, we've been talking about him. We've been saying to pray for him and give him positive thoughts. This big long thing about, I've been trying to fix myself for a long time. I know I'm a broken person. It was really sad talking about some anger issues that he has. So clearly we never know the full story of what's going on with people. I literally have salad all over my shirt. I have the best salad that takes me about an hour to eat. Let me see if I can show this to y'all. I love my salads, although I didn't have any cucumber today. I don't know how if I ate it all or if it's hidden in the fridge somewhere, but I have literal salad on my black dress today. But this is spinach, watermelon, tomatoes, boiled egg, sliced almonds, feta cheese, some carrots, dressing, avocado. I think that's all. Usually I do chia seeds, but I don't notice a darn thing about chia seeds. They don't make me poop at all. So I'm done throwing chia seeds on my shit. Anyways, I can't wait to eat that salad whenever I'm done. Oh, and it's got chicken. We went to this new-ish Mexican restaurant near our house to celebrate Father's Day. And some of my kids brought home this fajita chicken that they had. So I'm like, they're not going to eat this crap. So I ate it. That's what moms do, right? I literally have spinach in the back of my mouth. What else? I feel like there was something else I meant to talk about today. Anyone else? We're definitely going to chat about Love Hotel also. But real quick. So over the weekend, y'all know that I've been blocked by Gage for forever, probably because my very first Instagram account was called Jeff Lewis Stalker, which I thought was funny. It was approved by Jeff Lewis because at the time in fall 2021, Jeff Lewis talked a lot on Jeff Lewis Live about wanting a stalker. He hadn't had a stalker in a long time. So when I decided to do a fan account about him, I said, hey, can I do an Instagram and call it Jeff Lewis Stalker? He said, yep, it's funny. Well, that didn't go over too well with Instagram or the fans, and people that don't have a sense of humor were turning in my account. So I eventually renamed it Jeff Lewis Obsessed, which again, I still thought was super funny. I mean, give me a break. I'm not obsessed, but it's a fun show to chat about, and I wanted people to chat about it with. Anyways, long story short, if you know about January 2024, it is now Sarah from Texas. So anyways, I say that to say, Gage has had me blocked for forever because obviously anything with Jeff Lewis, he probably blocked. Scott, at one point, Scott Anderson blocked me, but then he unblocked me and he still has me unblocked, but I don't follow him. I don't think to look at his account, what have you. But y'all do a really good job, Chumpettes, of sending me pictures and posts and everything like that Gage posts. So y'all did send me the picture of them. Let me bring it up if you haven't seen my video, which I'm sure you have, or seen it yourself and in the blogs and in the Sarah from Texas Facebook group. Gosh, I take a lot of pictures randomly. This is the picture that Gage posted. And then I did look, Scott posted, I think the next day. So he waited a little while. He's a little more timid on whatever, but it's a picture of both of them and it's from Gage and it says an engagement ring and a yes. And then I guess it's a smiley figure. I don't know. And also if you notice, oh gosh, now I got to scroll back over, 2 wedding bands. So everyone at first thought maybe they got married. And I'm like, no, the picture before this was the menu that said happy 40th birthday, Gage, which when I look up the dates, his birthday is June 13th, 41 years ago. So I'm not sure if he's trying to get by on a year or whatever. But anyways, maybe Google was wrong. They both have rings on. So, it's probably something they had talked about. It's not like girls nowadays don't know to, give the ring size. Do you want a pear shape? Do you want an emerald cut? How big do you want? Oh, wear a white dress, get your nails done. I mean, let's face it, some people know when their engagement is coming. So the fact that they have 2 wedding bands, I'm assuming that just meant, but Jeff confirmed it today when he said his 2 exes got engaged over the weekend. He even let us know that Gage is the one that did propose. So I don't know if Monroe was there and told him this. I don't know if he heard from other people. It looked like a pretty small restaurant place that had maybe it was 10 places at the restaurant that was for his birthday. And so, probably close friends, maybe family. I don't really know, but they are definitely engaged. Jeff had a lot to say about it, which we will absolutely talk about in just a little bit. I mean, I don't know that I love everything he said. I mean, I just think even like Justin Sylvester said, what if they actually like each other, right? Like, what if they actually like each other? Thank you so much for tapping the screen over on TikTok. I appreciate it. I don't know why it looks so dark in here. I guess because the rain, but my goodness, it looks so dark outside. And I've got a light over on my YouTube, but I mean my YouTube, but it is not giving me any light over on the TikTok. So anyways, oh yes, y'all are talking about Love Hotel already. I love it. Louise says, I think Luanne is legit in love. They laugh. Oh, let me turn on the comments. Sorry, that it'll pull up on the thing. They laugh a lot together on Watch What Happens Live. She said she trusts him and no doubt they are having great sex. I believe her when Luanne said on Watch What Happens Live, she loves James. Well, she also said he has a big wiener. I'm like, oh my God, we really have to know that about James. Anyways, okay. Love Hotel episode 8. The finale was on last night. Super awkward. Like the conversation between Earl the Pearl and Shannon on the couch. I mean, this whole thing lasted 3 weeks. Okay. So from day 2, it looked like they were paired up. Like they were the one. She had no eyes for anyone else. He didn't have eyes for anyone else. Whereas people like Ralph were kind of looking at a few options. I think Ralph was really into Luanne at first, but when that got blown away, I think Giselle was also interested in Ralph. I feel like, then he ends up sort of with Ashley at the end. So it was super awkward. But they give them the thing, since it was 24 hours before the thing was over, they give them the option to pick. Well, did it even seem like an option? This whole episode, as much as I loved the other 7 episodes, this one seemed even more scripted. It seemed even more put together. It just felt like they were kind of told, pick someone for the overnight. Well, the problem with that is Giselle and Ashley were like, we don't want to pick from someone because basically the host, Joel Kim Booster, said the other person is going to get sent home if you don't pick them for the overnight. Well, that was pretty much meant it was donezo. And they were like, look, we're still kind of deciding between 2 people. So can I split these? Or can I do the overnight with one person and then do a brunch with the other person? So Joel Kim Booster was like, yeah, I think we can arrange that. Well, clearly Luanne had no idea. She knew what she wanted, in James, and Shannon knew what she wanted in Earl, right? So Ashley splits and has the overnight with Wale. my DirecTV, because the weather was bad, when I had recorded it last night, I guess it was raining here. It was raining really bad last night. And when it recorded on my satellite, it was like tiling and I had to rewind, had to fast forward. I think I got the gist of it, but I didn't go and rewatch it on Peacock today. I just don't have time for that. Didn't even have time to listen to Andy Cohen live all the way yet. And I love listening to Andy Cohen live. So I think I got the gist of it, but let me know if they showed more on her and Wale's date, overnight date, because I don't remember much of that at all. But basically she has brunch with Ralph, and then Giselle splits her overnight apparently with Phil and Theo. Is that what she ended up doing? Because like I said, my TV, the recording of it ended up being kind of weird. Louise says, Earl said in a DM with Thea, that he broke up with Shannon, not letting her break up with him. Oh God. So now they're 60 years old arguing about who broke up with who. Like, gross. AUS Fly Girl says, Love Hotel was a more positive, upbeat, and silly show at a good location with a great bunch of people. Yeah. I mean, like, I've caught a little of Love Island, and it is, I mean, I don't want to see these people practically, I mean, on air. Like, it's really gross. It's more than Big Brother. Like, I don't love it. I'm not into it at all. Some of my teenagers are watching it. It's just, I do like Ariana on it, and I've told them like, hey, that's my girl from Vanderpump Rules. And they're like, okay, we don't care. We don't watch Vanderpump. Like, they don't even care anything about Scandival. They don't know anything about how boring she was on Vanderpump Rules. Now she's had this huge glow up and like career boom. And Love Island was the beginning of it all, right? They don't even know. Oh my gosh. I definitely want to hear your thoughts. Put them in comments, whether you're listening live or listening as a replay later on. We definitely want to hear what you think. Raquel says, Luanne will only settle down once she's done with all the traveling and work. Once she's tired, she will hook the wealthiest to settle. Yeah, because she definitely let us know on Watch What Happens Live what is going on. And I definitely wish I could have been with James to see what he thought about that for sure. So did Giselle split the overnight with Phil and Theo? I mean, I think she was just, I don't know that Phil is super into females. I think Phil is into hosting. I think he's into money. I think he's into modeling. He's a Ford model for like 40 years. I think he loved the idea of going on this TV show and maybe meeting some people and having some more famous friends. Theo, I felt like really whatever, but I don't even know if I saw any of those people kiss. Like, they're together for 3 weeks. They're there to find love. They're there to invite someone to, quote, check out from the hotel with them at the end, which basically means I'm picking you. I would like for you to check out the hotel with me. And when that other person says yes, which of course all four of them did, again, they kind of edited it to be as if they weren't going to pick someone or they were going to pick the other person. But even then at the end, I think it was Giselle, like, I don't even know that they kissed at the end, right? It just felt like they wanted them to check out with someone, or maybe they wanted to check out with someone. They didn't want to be the girl that didn't get asked to dance at the 8th grade dance, you know? Yeah, exactly. Dee says, I'm too old to watch Love Island. I'm not a prude, but I don't want to watch young people swapping fluids. And that's all they do. I mean, literally, these people came in the other day, like these two, I forget what they call them, hotties or something, which they were not that cute. Some of these people are already connected, like hooked up, in other words, partnered up. And the people just all go around totally French kissing them, like as they're tied up. And I'm like, no, like, just not my jam. But I get it. People are into it. The ex-boyfriends, the sometimes current boyfriends or girlfriends are on TikTok lives, like saying, hey, that's my boyfriend. I mean, it's a lot going on. I mean, it's like 4 or 5, 6 nights a week, like an hour and a half, 2 hours each on Netflix. I mean, it's a lot for sure, right? Oh, Britt says, I've been gone for a week. Welcome back. Yay. Shout out Chumpette Sarah. Oh my gosh. I love when y'all get in comments and when y'all hit the like button. Thank you so much. Cecile is number 32. Thank you so much for sure. Oh, Ann says, Michelle, please keep the 101 temperature in Las Vegas. Yeah. One Chumpette just told me she's leaving for Las Vegas soon. She's going to have a blast. So I can't wait for that. Oh my gosh. Kimberly J says, Love Island. I am so in, have been forever. I'll watch lots of fast forwarding, any location, anywhere. Yeah, isn't this like season 7 or something? Like, I'm just totally, the concept of all these shows is good, but then it just gets like they're just remaking the season over and over again. I feel like that way with Big Brother also. Like, it's kind of getting that way with uh take Traitors for the cast that was put out recently. It's kind of like it's the same old, and I hate to say that. You know what I mean? Okay, so Giselle, like I said, I think she's more into Theo for a personality, more into Phil for his money. James is not worried about the long distance relationship that Countess Luanne is in, because Countess Luanne is like, well, you live in Maui. Like, I primarily live on the East Coast, like the Hamptons in New York City, but I travel a lot. I'm going on tour. I do my cabaret. What I did like is that she said that she feels very supported by James. So she does feel like she can still have her independence. She can still go and do cabaret that she loves. I think she said with Tom, and I think she mentioned the Count, but I can't remember what she said about him. So somebody remind me. I think she said with Tom, the second husband, that she wouldn't have been encouraged to do that. She wouldn't have felt comfortable to do that. So now that she's on her own, she feels like she can do that. James let us know, though, and let her know he was in a 24-year long distance relationship. So he's like, oh, if we want to make this work, like, we can make this work. But she seemed concerned about it, right? But Luanne and James end up checking out together, which means they're together. They are still together. Spoiler alert. She does let us know, but with a caveat. I'll talk about that, about Watch What Happens Live in a second. Giselle asked Theo to check out. I saw zero relationship there. I saw zero romantic relationship there at all. Earl and Shannon check out of the hotel together. And then Ashley checks out with Ralph. And when Ralph goes and does, so Ralph was like this older white man, and Wale was a younger, much more age appropriate. Well, he's Nigerian. When Wale does his interview, he says Ashley chose Europe over Nigeria. He said something else, but I could not figure out what he was saying. Did anybody understand what he was saying? It might have been my recording from the thing, but he definitely said that. I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, Tuesday night. Raquel says, my only reality TV night is Tuesday. I just can't watch more than 2. So Tuesday is The Valley. And, what's the freaking other show that's on now? The Valley, and there's 2 on Tuesday night. Anyways. Yes. Oh, Dolly Girl says, I disagree. The Traitors and Big Brother aren't the same old, same old. I mean, I feel like they all have like a hottie couple. They all have like a gay man. They all have like the old one that they claim is going to do the dishes, the mom, the dad. You know what I mean? Maybe I just haven't watched in a long time, but yeah. Mike O'Reilly says Luanne's collecting all her coins. I mean, you're not wrong. BB is Big Brother. Yeah. Lucy said, I think it's funny that Luanne makes comments about James's voice when people have commented about her voice. Yeah, they have the very opposite, almost. And then she explained on Watch What Happens Live, which was she had a few awkward moments on Watch What Happens Live. Like the fact that Andy had to call her out for like literally saying like 5 of her famous, New York Housewives taglines or comments before quotes. I was like, yeah, it just felt like she was trying a little hard. You know what I mean? Like, what did y'all think about her Watch What Happens Live? Rebecca says, I stopped watching the trashy shows years ago. I binge watched Clarkson's Farm last week with my husband. It's so funny. Oh, British humor. I have no idea what that is. Although I do like some British shows. Yeah, Big Brother should start again soon, right? It seems like it starts around 4th of July, and obviously that's coming up in a few weeks. So, anyways, so does anyone remember what Wale said? It was really funny. Louise says, I think having great sex is as important or even more important to Luanne as money. I thought she was great on Watch What Happens. Never saw her look happier. She just looked awkward to me. I don't know why. I guess it was the stuff she was saying. And then when she oddly said, oh, and I have to let you know, I was like, oh, this is going to be good about, some intel on Love Hotel. She was like, I was allergic to dust. And so that's why my voice was being very, deep and everything at the end of Love Hotel. And I realized all I had to do is take an allergy pill and then I was fine. I was like, that's what you're wasting our 30 minutes on Watch What Happens Live about? I thought it was interesting. I don't know. I've never even heard of Clark's Farm. Y'all let me know about a lot of TV shows. Y'all just let me know over the weekend about this Texas dad and cowboy and his young 20-something-year-old kids that are on a ranch or something in Texas. I guess it's been on Peacock before, but now it's coming to Bravo and it's coming up. I don't know. Something like, yeah. Thank you, Libby. Libby, agree. Not that everyone has to agree with me. This is a safe space to have all of our opinions. Polite opinions, respectful opinions. But Libby says, I agreed. It was a little cheesy and awkward with Luanne on Watch What Happens Live. She seemed to repeat everything she said on Love Hotel. I watched Watch What Happens Live before the finale. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's just not my jam. Smilene says, I didn't think I would like the Traitors either, but the mental aspect is really interesting. I've sometimes even skipped the challenges. Yeah, I used to skip the challenges. I think season 2 is the only one that I watched with speaking of voices, my voice, I feel like I need some water and I don't have any here. D says, well, the cigarettes don't help either, Luanne. Exactly. Anyway, so the very end of it, Ashley picks Ralph, which is the older guy, but the end of it, they pretty much let us know as an update, like that Bravo Housewives does. All of them kind of fizzled out. Oh, this one tried to make it to go visit them. None of them lived in the same city. Even the one that's together, which is actually James and Luanne, she hasn't even made it over to Maui to his house. They meet in Santa Monica because he must come there or LA for maybe his kids or something like that. So not really sure. But even with that, she had the aquamarine big ring on her wedding ring finger only because it doesn't fit on her other hand. Although, can't you go to a jewelry store and get it sized up or sized down? I guess. Oh, Luna just got in her crate. And but she let us know that is from another suitor. So the rumor is true, I guess. I think she's dating this other rich realtor in the Hamptons, New York area, but she is still also in love and dating James. So she's very clear. I believe James loves me. I love James. We have a great time. I really trust him. It's just a fact that she's like, look, I can't see him all the time, so I'm going to date other people, which I don't know. Good for you, freaking Luanne. Good for freaking you, right? She was on with Joel Kim Booster, who never said anything about the Shannon thing. I wish they would ask and just be like, hey, do you want to clear up, the things that you said about Shannon Bedore? Because it seems like they were fine on the show, on Love Hotel. But clearly, I think she's said some things about him I think Shannon said something about him when she was on on Jeff Lewis Live. I can't remember though. Do y'all remember? That's going to be interesting. Louise, I don't know Donna Kelsey very much. I don't know. I just know she has two, famous football sons, podcasters. Louise says, I'm excited that Donna Kelsey will be on The Traitors. I bet they make her a traitor. Oh, yes. No, Michael Riley says James didn't give her the ring. The other suitor did. James gave her the key necklace. So I don't know what aquamarine is my birthstone. That's Jeff Lewis's birthstone in March and Shannon Bedore's. So I don't really know why this guy gave her an aquamarine, but they're not cheap. I mean, I don't want to say it's the cost of a diamond, but they're not cheap aquamarines, depending on the size and quality. And that looks like a pretty big ring. Yeah. Dee says Joel Kim Booster has the personality of a trailer hitch. What a bore. I mean, his outfits got good last night, but I mean, give me a break. Andy, wait, what? He did? Louise says Andy asked Joel, name 3 good things about Shannon. Oh my God, I missed that. This must have been when my TV was messing up. Dang it. What did he say? Was it awkward? Well, that's true. Krista says aquamarine is a cheaper stone than a diamond, ruby, or emerald. Yes, because rubies and emeralds are even more expensive. Dolly Girl's an April birthstone because her birthstone is diamond. She's an April birthday. Who's Rob Cesternino? Is that a guy from, is that Rob from Survivor? Smaz says, I don't have the TV channel with the Traitors. It's on Peacock, so it's an app. But now we'll purchase it because I can't wait to watch him win. Eventually, I think they put it on Bravo if you have Bravo for free. Well, I guess we get nothing for free, right? AUS Fly Girl says, Luanne just turned 60 years old on May 17th. She knows how she should work her career. Cabaret forever is not it. I mean, she's definitely milking it. And 57, she's amazing, a ball of energy, looks fantastic in those, what's the brand? Giovanni outfits. Does anyone else remember? Mary says, I can't remember what Joel said were the 3 good things about Shannon. I am very curious. Jen says, I can't believe Dorinda is going back on the Traitors. I wonder why she's back for another season. I know. She's got something going good with Bravo and Peacock. Like they love her, or she's got some huge connection, or she's got some gossip on someone. I mean, the fact that she still does Reality Check, I'm like, I don't even listen to her, but isn't she on like all 4 days? I feel like she's on with Kiki Monique, right? Very interesting. And obviously they let go, apparently, Lakendra Tooks. Michael says, because Dorinda left so quickly the first time, supposedly. Well, that's not their fault, though. I don't know. Dee says, because she probably cried because she was the first one voted off. Margaret says, I don't understand the Traitors bringing back people that have already appeared. It's only 4 seasons. Now, surely you can come up with new people. Well, it's all the same people. I mean, I'm waiting for Jax Taylor to be on there, like literally, if he wasn't doing so poorly with his whatever. Thank y'all for tapping the screen over on TikTok. There's only 686 taps. So please keep tapping the screen. It is free. Robin must not be here. Robin is always so good about tapping the screen. So please, it's not letting me tap. Oh, now it is. Okay. It was giving me bubbles. Okay. It's tapping. Just tap it. Just tap, 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 tap. That's all you have to do. I would really appreciate the support. Thank you. Anyways. Yeah, Reza was kicked off immediately too. Johnny Bananas I feel like there's some people like Johnny Bananas. He was on that show with Jax Taylor with, what's the room where like you're kicked out, the bad, what is it called? Villains, the reality villains or something like that. Thank you, Krista, for hitting the like button. Michael Riley says, yeah, she didn't get to unpack all of her trunks of clothes. Yeah, she said she had all these outfits to wear. So a lot of people say, I got all these outfits. Yeah. Okay, let's chat. Gage and Scott got engaged over the weekend. They've been dating about 2.5 years. We don't know the exact date, but I first was told about this sometime fallish. I would say October, November, maybe, of 2022, but it didn't come out, I don't think, till maybe December-ish. So I wasn't saying a word about it, but Jeff did verify today, and within a few minutes, he brought it up. So Kelty Knight and Justin Sylvester, who worked together on E! News, were on together today. And Jeff let us know that Gage is the one that proposed at his 40th birthday party. I don't know. You got to think how young. So they are 15 years apart, 15 and a half years. I mean, well, no, 15 years apart. Jeff is 15 years older than Gage. So when they were dating, Jeff was like 38 and Gage was 23. That is a huge age gap at those ages. Like, it's one thing if it's 45 and 60, maybe you're a little more whatever, but 23 and 38 are so different. But I'm still binge watching. I'm right now on season 7, maybe episode 4 on Flipping Out on Netflix. Season 6, 7, and 8 are on Netflix for free right now. Now, I have all 11 episodes of Flipping Out for free that I can watch on my DirecTV app, but I never understand the app and never seem to know how to do that. So that's why I'm having to watch the Friends rewatch on Max, because I can easily find it there. I can't find it other places, and just, it's making me like record it and then watch it. I'm like, no, I don't want the 45 minutes. I just want or the 22 minutes, whatever it is. Anyways, let me know what you thought about what they said. Gage proposed. Jeff is adamant that Scott's family comes from money, and Scott also has money. So he's like, I'm kind of surprised this is even going through, because I'm kind of surprised that Scott hasn't realized. But his family will definitely require a prenup. Okay, so that kind of makes sense. He's like, Gage won't fight the prenup because that would look kind of like tricky. That would look like he was just trying to get his money, right, if you're not willing to sign the prenup. But what he says about the family, then he says, I don't doubt he eventually is like, oh, I love your son, Stone, who Scott did all of that by himself, became a single dad all on his own. And he's like, he would try to adopt Stone, which means if they end up getting divorced, he could try to get half custody of Stone because he would be legally, he would adopt him. Then he would get money from that. What do you call it? Custody money. No, what's it called? Child support money. Then he says, then I bet they'll have a child together, and then he'll get 3 times the money because he'll be getting money from me from Monroe, money from Scott if he adopts Stone, and then money if they have a baby on their own. So very interesting. I thought it was kind of cruel. I mean, even Justin said at one point, what if they just like each other? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, Steph on TikTok says Jeff should have just kept that to himself. Just saying. I mean, I kind of think Jeff should keep a lot of things to himself. Like, Jeff was very clear, even not now. I mean, because he and Gage haven't been on good terms in a while, but they've been on and off again over the many years that they've been split up. I think they split up when Monroe was about 1.5 or 2.5 years old, and she's now 8.5. So a long time. They've definitely had their ups and downs. But for him to say that he thinks he's going to do that all for money, I'm like, you don't know that. Like, he was very clear. Gage and I only have Monroe because I was with Monroe, and because I'm not with Monroe, because I was with Gage and we agreed to have a child together. He's adamant he would not have had a child on his own. So, at one point he's thanked Gage and said, yes, Gage is very much a part of her. He's a great dad. He is, whatever. And then when they're not on good terms, it's like, oh, I should have never had this kid with, I don't think he would ever say that, because that would mean that Monroe wouldn't be here if he chose not to have the kid with Monroe. But he's basically saying, I wish I wouldn't have put his name on the birth certificate. He's not, he thinks of himself only. So he definitely goes back and forth. I just didn't love when he was putting that out there as if it is all money. I mean, I guess people do marry or get engaged for money, but I have said from the beginning, I see, I mean, I don't know Scott, I don't know Gage, but I can see that Jeff's exes are somewhat similar. So if they're similar, then maybe they get together and they get along really well, which maybe it was Jeff that they weren't the right fit for. Maybe it is with them. I don't know. Thought it was very interesting. I don't know, because I don't feel like Gage was super close to his family. I mean, he didn't live with them like Jeff lives an hour and a half from his dad and 2 brothers, or closer even to Todd. But I feel like, and I don't know if Gage had brothers and sisters. Like, I just don't really know any of that. Raquel says, I wonder if Scott has met any of Gage's family. I mean, I would have to assume, but I have no idea, especially since almost the whole time they've been dating, Scott has been a single dad. So I'm sure a single dad, like he didn't have another kid with somebody else. So there's nowhere else that baby Stone is going. Like, he's only, so I think that probably limits how much he can travel, or that he does want to travel, because he is a single dad. I mean, I don't know. Melissa says, I get Gage making things difficult for Jeff, but when he says stuff like that, I would be pissed, saying this so publicly. I mean, yeah. And on the other hand, he was very excited. He said, Monroe is so excited. She hopes to be a flower girl in the wedding. He said the other day on Friday, she loves baby Stone. He's always said that Scott is nothing but nice and so good with Monroe. And then I think it was Kelty Knight that said something, or maybe Justin today, that said, don't you think it's better to know your enemy? In other words, who is co-parent, who's going to be a stepdad to Monroe. You know that it's a good person. It's Scott, because even Shane brought up, y'all didn't end badly. Y'all just kind of ended. Like, I remember, crazily enough, it was like a Saturday night when he came on Monday and talked about it. I think Scott had written him like a list of 10 things that Jeff needed to change. And Jeff was like, I'm done. Well, now we know, years later, he and Chef Stu went on their first date the next day, I think to High Tops. And then that Tuesday was Valentine's, which he was telling us, I'm going to go on a date. It's a first date. It's Valentine's, but he wasn't telling us who it was. And then, of course, we end up knowing that, it was Chef Stu. And then they ended up dating on and off for what, 2.5 years or so. He did bring that up, which I'd never heard him bring up. Has he brought that up before? M.W. Shelley said, I think Jeff is counting on Monroe to choose to live with him when she's 14, but giving up her other dad in Stone would be hard. That may not happen. Now, I don't know. So he did bring this up. Legally, she can choose to pick him at age 14 and live with him primarily. She could also choose, I guess, to live with Gage primarily. And then I think Jeff's child support stops. But I don't think that means she wouldn't ever see Gage. I think that just means she wouldn't go to him like 1 week on, 1 week off type stuff. But Jeff was very clear, like, that's a short 5 years away. I'm like, man, that's a decision I would never want a kid to have to make unless it's super extreme with like, abuse of some sort, some sort of whatever, because that just seemed, I've never been in that situation. My parents were married until my dad passed away from cancer. Our kids have never lived that life. So I can't imagine. I would never want that on anyone though. So Anne says Scott will never let Gage adopt Stone. After listening to Gage and Jeff argue, Scott isn't going to give all of his money to an attorney. I mean, I don't know. I kind of wondered if I thought he would. What do y'all think? Do y'all think, and if it does happen, I think we would only know because like Monroe would go to the adoption thing with them. Like they would make it a family event, like take a picture and post it. I don't know. I almost think I can see that they want to be a family unit, and doing so would mean that Gage would adopt Stone legally and have all the rights as he does with Monroe, as he does with Stone. I don't know. I feel like Kay Kitty says, what does Scott's family do for a living? I feel like it's investments or homes or rentals or whatever, all that. I don't know. Michael says Jeff has to be furious. I mean, he didn't say he was. I don't know. Oh, your notification didn't come. Jackie, every weekday, 4:00 Eastern, we're here. Louise says, I don't think Scott is stupid. I don't either. Michael says, oh, Monroe now has a brother. Jeff is seething. Is that does Jeff have a boy embryo left or the girl embryo? I feel like he has the girl embryo left, right? NW Shelley says Scott has Airbnb, so he owns properties that he rents out, I guess. Deja Monet says, if I was Scott, I wouldn't do it. It was very interesting, very interesting. They talked about it for a while. Like, I don't remember how long, but it was a while that they talked about it. Even Kelty Knight was like, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to promote my Lady Gang weekend because all Jeff is going to do is talk about this. And I was like, well, I mean, yeah, like we hope he talks about it, right? I don't know. Do you think he'll do a prenup? Like, I guess these are things we're never going to find out because I don't think that's stuff they're going to put on Instagram. And how would Monroe know that stuff? You know what I mean? Like, Stone is a little over 2. I think he's January-ish birthday. If I remember, January, February, I don't remember. I remember when Jeff announced it, but I don't really remember the date. Yeah. So it's interesting because really, I mean, babies are wonderful, but they're very limiting. So, I don't think Scott is one to like have a full-time nanny or 2 or 3. And, I think he takes Stone a lot of places. So I think they pretty much have the baby with them all the time, whereas they only get Monroe every other week. You know what I mean? I don't think he is, but like a hair on my computer screen. Kids pick up to stuff. And even though like Jeff talks about like Monroe isn't allowed to say the word chump in their house, at Gage's house, You know, Jeff says like that he doesn't say anything bad, but you know, he's slipped and told us before that he says things like, hey, you know, Daddy Gage is the one that, you know, whatever. And, you know, can't remember, think of all the examples, but definitely, I think she definitely gets a vibe that they don't get along. You know, when they don't show up together, they don't have like a birthday dinner together for her like they used to at whatever that restaurant was. You know, I think they used to do a back to school dinner night, you know, when they were getting along. Oh my God. Mariah Joy says, I really hope I live long enough to read Monroe's tell all book. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, yes, but that's what Jeff talked about also. N.W. Shelley says, I think Scott's family will insist on a prenup as their assets are likely commingled. So he kind of mentioned another thing was kind of what he said Kelly Dodd was doing to Rick Leventhal, where she's like, oh, sell that house that you own before our marriage and let's use that money and purchase a house together. And then both of our names are on the deeds. So Jeff talked about all those details and said, you know, that he would talk him into selling his house and be like, oh, put 500,000 towards another house. And then I think he said Gage would come up with like $5 to put towards it and somehow be on the thing. So very interesting. I mean, all of that is how he's like, then they'll do it again and again and again. So very interesting. Sarah says, was Stone conceived from a donor egg or a surrogate? I don't think I know. And I don't know that it matters, but I don't, donor egg. Well, it has to be. I mean, I don't think he got anyone pregnant, if that's what you mean. I don't know. I don't know. Raquel says Jeff doesn't know that Monroe will change just like Todd and Alyssa are going through. Who's Todd and Alyssa? Monroe will go through the phase of having an attitude with Jeff. Watch. Todd and Alyssa. Who is that? Can't think of who that is. Nurse Sim says, I think Gage said to Jeff, disrespectful to our family because of being late from the fair. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely for sure. Oh, Sarah says Jeff will get Monroe to ask all the questions. Yeah. Very interesting. Melissa says Monroe will describe Jeff as a daddy dearest like Joan Crawford. If you're older, you will get that analogy. Oh, you think? Oh, I think Gage is probably more strict in that regard. I think Daddy Jeff is definitely the more fun dad, right? I don't know. I don't know. What does that mean? Bravo and Stone says, what the helly? No talk of chumps. What does that mean? Anna says, I think once again, Jeff is reacting instead of taking a moment to process his feelings about it. Maybe Jeff is still grieving his could have been life with Gage. I don't know. I think the hate is so strong now. Louise, no. Jeff has brought up in the past about Kelly Dodd having Rick sell his former previous property and then buying something new together. That way it's more commingled. And this is what he was assuming and saying, accusing Gage of doing. He was like, then they'll do it over and over again. And then if they divorce, he gets half the custody of Stone and whatever future kids they might have together. And then he gets child support money from him, which I don't know. Raquel says, I don't think Jeff living in the new house next to Scott and Gage is a good idea. The least he sees them, the better to move on. I know when he first said that about another hot couple is around the corner, I think he meant Scott and Gage. And I don't think Kelty and Justin were understanding, because then they started talking about, like, Justin was like, oh, he's got a black boyfriend now. And Kelty was like, who's the man? Oh, are y'all? And I was like, no, I don't think he's talking about Ty moving in with him. You know what I mean? Like, I think he was talking about Gage and Scott. I don't know. It was interesting. Okay, so they did talk about the Lady Gang thing. It's this weekend event in September. Tickets have been on sale forever. It does feel like it's so far away. I mean, she was practically begging. I think she knows if she was able to hire Jeff, probably all those tickets would sell out, because there is something about Jeff Lewis Chump listeners and they buy everything. Speaking of, if you have not already seen his Instagram video, I don't love them all, but this one is actually kind of funny. And he is absolutely going to win. Not that he needs that $2,500, but look, here is the his interior video.
I live in a McMansion in West Hollywood. My name is Jeff Lewis. I'm 55 years old. I believe in taking care of myself with a rigorous exercise routine.
Wise beauty pads.
And of course, I carefully select what I put in my body. In the morning, I wake up and immediately drink an Interior. Interior is the first of its kind multifunctional wellness juice designed to fuel health at the cellular level. I then take a quick break from my drink to do some stomach crunches. I can do 7 now. This isn't just another wellness drink. It's a smarter way to nourish your body. It helps maintain a healthy inflammatory response, balance your gut microbiome, and optimize metabolic health. There is an idea of a Jeff Lewis, some kind of abstraction, but there is no real me, only an entity. It's juice with a medical degree. Use code Jeff20 to get 20% off your purchase.
Oh my God. I actually thought that was super funny. It's juice with a medical degree. I thought it was really cute. Some of them I don't really like. I don't know. Mariah says, let's be real for a second. Just imagine your 2 exes getting married. My jaw would be on the floor. Girl, I hope they send Jeff a Christmas card just because. I mean, I don't really know that that's going to happen. Cheryl says, maybe the lady gang millennials don't have the money. Well, and I think it's like, I didn't really pay attention, but I feel like what she said before is like a Thursday through Sunday. And, you know, there's no direct flights. It was expensive. It's just like, I won't be shocked. Now, I have no idea how much money or how big the fandom is, I think, for the Entitled Housewife. But that whole thing, that weekend is very expensive. And we know she started off with having 2 weekends in Cabo. Now she's doing 1 weekend. So I'm pretty sure. And I think if Jeff was going to that, I think she would have already been promoting it, even though she keeps talking about like, I mean, you would never keep that as a secret, right? You don't want to surprise Jeff Lewis. You want to sell Jeff Lewis on being there as buying the tickets. I thought so too. Dee says Interior is $8 a bottle. It's a little expensive. Yeah, I think it came out to $7.99. And I don't know if that was with free shipping or not. I think it was $94 for 12 or something like that whenever I looked it up. Oh, $20 to ship. So it basically comes out to about $8, $9 a bottle. Yes, Kay Kitty says Interior's owned by Liat and her husband. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't look at the shipping either. Anna says, I wonder if Jeff is a bit bitter or envious because Gage has settled down with someone and establishing his family. Maybe Jeff wished he was more settled down. Do I think Jeff wants to be settled down? I really don't. And I don't see, I've said this before, I don't see it as a failure if somebody is in multiple relationships. I feel like, you know, relationships go the length that they go, and you should get out of them the second both people aren't happy. I don't feel like, I feel like even if he got out with Ty, I feel like that's fine. That served that purpose for that amount of time. Like, I just don't feel like that. I don't know. Oh, you think Annie did this video? I feel like Kian and Shane probably write a lot of the videos. I don't know. Sarah says, finally, Annie is making an effort with that video. The warning obviously worked. By the way, speaking of Annie, a lot of y'all text or DM me over the weekend saying that y'all think Annie is out. So I don't know where that rumor came from. What I saw, I think it came up on my TikTok, is that Annie got a birthday gift from Monaco that was a Labubu. So let's just say I don't think Jeff's house manager and good friend Monica is going to buy Annie a birthday present if she's got fired or she's leaving. I don't know. I think they're just fine. I think if Annie knows what she's doing, she will stay with Jeff Lewis as long as she can, because I think she is definitely, you know, and I think somebody said, oh, that's right. Somebody said on Reddit, I think it was Reddit, sent me a picture basically saying that Jeff needs to get a different crew around him if he wants Flipping Out, the reboot, to come up. And I'm like, Annie would be great on Flipping Out. Like, she is just fine with the drama. She takes it. She snaps back at Jeff. She's on camera ready. Like, she would be A-okay with being on Flipping Out reboot. And I think Kian is much less ready to be an employee of Jeff Lewis and be on Flipping Out 2.0. Like, I don't think he is near as willing to be, you know, like, talk about his girlfriend and talk about things. Like, I don't know. Yes. Lando says Jeff made a comment about him and Annie needing to see where they're at in a month's time, something along those lines. I think he said that Thursday or Friday. But I don't know. Yeah, Cheryl says Annie had a video that says she's back to making videos. But I scanned her TikTok. I don't think she stopped making videos. I think she kept making them about New York and the flight back from New York to LA, like what she was wearing in New York. Like, I don't think she took anything down. Ann says, how was Jeff told about the engagement? He said hundreds of people sent him the picture. So trust me, if people send me the picture and if people post it on the Sarah from Texas Facebook group, trust me, hundreds. I mean, Jeff has, I mean, he's inching up towards 1 million not subscribers, whatever is it called, followers. He has 920,000 followers, and they all feel comfortable DMing him. So I'm sure it was like a race to see who would. Good day. Ooh. Sarah Fraser is having her egg donor transfer today. So let's pray that all goes well and her family is expanded in the most perfect way that she is praying for. I hope that happens for Sarah Fraser. Oh, Honey May, I just made it. I was cutting my grass. Well, nobody's cutting their grass here because it's raining like crazy. Okay, the Today Show. I hope Justin, so I don't watch the Today Show all the time, but Justin Sylvester has been one of the 2 to 4 people that are kind of at the end of the rope of maybe trying to take Hoda Kotb's place. I think he would be so good. I don't know where his boyfriend lives. I don't know if his boyfriend is willing to move to New York. I don't know if he's willing to give up his e-news job or if he can keep them both. I have no idea about any of that, but I would love for his dream to come true because I do think he wants to be on the Today Show. And then he could be on Jeff Lewis Live when Jeff is in New York 3 or 4 times a year. But he did talk about this Reddit thing. He's like, oh, Jeff's like, I don't listen to any of that. And he's like, oh, I watch all of it. But he said that they're saying over there that Justin had a beef with Jeff whenever he didn't come on the show. And Justin's like, no, I got chicken egg salad, like poisoning or food poisoning from this machine that I bought this egg salad sandwich at. And I'm like, ew, like, what are you at the airport? Like, why are we buying an egg salad sandwich out of a machine? Like, gross. Like, do better. Like, your body is a temple. You run, like, do better with what you're eating. But I love that he was like bringing it up to let everyone know, look, there's no beef between me and Jeff Lewis. The second hour was comedians Kevin Sullivan and Zach Noe Towers. Kevin's been on, I think, once before. You know, he's kind of quiet. I think he was funny. They both attend recovery meetings. So Zach attends them daily. I didn't realize that. So probably even whenever he travels, probably keeps him just in the right mind path and everything. But I love that for Zach Noe Towers. I have met him a couple of times now, went to see his Houston show with some other Houston area chumpettes. He couldn't be nicer. Like, he didn't have any stickers to sell us at the end of the thing as a donation, but he took pictures with us. I mean, he is so nice. I thought his comedy was so funny. Thank you. I love that. Kimberly J is like sending Sarah Fraser all the love. Yes. Love that. Love that. Love that. Oh my. Krista says, oh my, egg salad from a machine. Danger, danger. Exactly. Like, ew. I kind of liked, I think I normally don't love Kelty Knight. I didn't mind her today. She wasn't as whiny about like, oh, your audience hates me every time I come on here. She wasn't like that. So I kind of like that. Of course, she did talk about, you know, I need to sell these Lady Gang tickets. I'm like, honey, you know, then sell them. Like, you've got the audience for it. You've got all these famous people coming. Yeah. Dolly Girl, seems obvious that egg salad out of a vending machine is a bad idea. That sounds like, I've been watching Friends lately, so that sounds like something they would say on Friends for sure. I watched Friends when it was on live, and now I'm rewatching it. And oh my God, from season 1, episode 1, oh my God, it's so good. Like, I'm not to where Ross and Rachel ever get together yet, but he's tried so many times already because he's just had his now ex-wife break up with him because she's a lesbian, but still pregnant with his own baby. So anyways, what a mess. I'm loving it for sure. Okay, Jeff did announce 3rd annual Chumpmas. So I went to the first one that they had at the Bourbon Room in Hollywood, and now they let us know the Bourbon Room is shut down. So he would know that if Krista Lamas and him were still good friends, because she is one of the, I don't know, the business part of it. She's one of the partners of it. So anyways, but Jeff seemed to not have any idea. But it will be the third annual Chumpmas will be, I assume, in December at Brea Improv. ChumpCon will be at the end of February in Las Vegas, but he said maybe Resorts World. He said there's like 2 or 3, maybe 1 or 2 places, and definitely Resorts World is one of those, but it might not be Resorts World. It might be someone else. So, oh yeah, Krista's like, even the stuff they show, like the phone, the cell phone, the phones that pick up and they pull up they pull up the antenna on the phone in Monica's apartment. Krista says, it is so crazy to see the 90s shows again, the clothes, the hair. Oh my God, the stuff they say. It's so good. I know. I like the Bourbon Room. I mean, I only been there once for the first Chumpmas, but I thought it was so fun. Resorts World is in Las Vegas. It's the big 3 hotel, the Conrad, the whatever. It's 3 different hotel resorts. Yeah, Louise says Justin Sylvester has been great on the Today Show. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets the job. I would be so happy for him. He seems genuinely like such a nice guy, and I would just be thrilled for him for sure. Jeff did talk about the Burbank place, and he's like, I would never go back there. Well, that's the first Jeff Lewis live event I ever went to. It was the Burbank, I don't even know what it's called, the Burbank, I don't know, some comedy place. And Jay Leno surprised us and came out and opened for Jeff Lewis. Brandy and Julie opened and hosted it also, but it stunk so bad, like sewage, and it was so gross. And people have told me it always smells like that. So just gross. Yes. Cheryl says, is Justin Sylvester the one that was Kyle Richards' Manny? I think he says he was the assistant to her more than the Manny, like a male nanny, but he might have been nanny also. I don't really know. Then at the end, they wrapped it up by talking about Uncrustables, and Jeff had no idea. And I'm like, how do you have an 8.5-year-old child? How do you have nieces and older nieces and nephews with his other brother? How have you never heard of Uncrustables? Like, Uncrustables are delicious. I like them frozen. I like them thawed. I like the grape. I like the strawberry. I think there's a honey one now. I think there's a Nutella-ish one. I think there's even a whole grain one. Like, freaking delicious for sure. Thank y'all for hitting the tap in the screen over on TikTok. I really, really, really appreciate it. What else? Y'all have anything else? What is on tonight? I feel like I've got 90 Day Fiance to watch. This rain is going to make me just want to take a big fat nap and finish my salad. Oh, they called him a Manny. Okay. Now my salad is all soggy. The chicken is cold. It takes me so long to eat my salads, but they are so freaking good. Look at that. I mean, spinach, chicken, tomatoes, carrots, boiled egg, sliced almonds. So good. It still tastes good. Okay. Thank you so much for joining. Please make sure to subscribe. Make sure to hit the thumbs up. If you're listening as a podcast, please scroll down and hit the 5-star rating and review. See y'all tomorrow. Bye, Chumpettes. Thank you, TikTok. Bye, subscribers. Bye, Chumpettes.